Patient Zero is a hidden gem, an excellent Dalek audio story that has the perfect combination of a unique setting, an unorthodox Doctor-companion relationship, and a brand new enemy for the Daleks to fight. This story is set on the Amethyst Research Station, which the Daleks attempt to invade in order to acquire the viruses that are stored there. However, Coordinator Fratellin, an entity with one mind occupying many bodies who controls the facility, holds back the Dalek attack while his employers, the Viyrans, arrive to assess the situation. In the meantime, the 6th Doctor, who is at this point travelling with Charley Pollard at a point in time after her travels with the 8th Doctor, must combat a new Dalek threat, the Dalek Time Controller, who makes his debut in this audio. Patient Zero has many interweaving elements that contribute to the intrigue and excitement of this story. For one, the Doctor is very suspicious of Charley, who refuses to tell him the truth about who she is for fear of damaging the web of time, as she is interfering with an earlier incarnation of the Doctor than the one who first meets her aboard the R101 in Storm Warning. However, Charley is also being pursued by an entity, the eponymous Patient Zero, who has been hiding from the Daleks aboard the TARDIS and is now free to enact its own plans. Another interesting aspect of Patient Zero is the unique enemies that it pits the Daleks against. Fratellin is a distinctive foe for the Daleks in his own right, one mind in many bodies who can work together to conjoin and smother Daleks to death with their combined strength. However, Fratellin's employers, the Viyrans, are the true threat in this audio. Highly durable and regenerative, the Viyrans are committed to the safety of the viruses in the facility and engage in a fierce conflict with the attacking Daleks. The Dalek Time Controller also makes a strong first impression in this story. It is clear to see why he became a fan favourite, as his distinctive personality compared to the other Daleks brings a fresh take to a Dalek leader character and allows for some deviations from the standard format of Dalek stories, as the Time Controller can make very un-Dalek decisions due to his ability to see time as a whole and understand the place of the Doctor, the Viyrans and the Daleks in this conflict. Nick Briggs does a great job of distinguishing this Dalek from the others using its voice alone. It not only sounds different in terms of voice modulation, but it also has a very different speech pattern compared to other Daleks, making it an ideal Dalek character for audio stories. Like the other Dalek story featuring the 6th Doctor and Charley, Brotherhood of the Daleks, Patient Zero is somewhat dependent on prior context from previous stories in order to fully understand the plot. However, unlike Brotherhood of the Daleks, Patient Zero has a straightforward story that is easy to follow regardless of whether or not you've listened to the other 6th Doctor and Charley audios. The aspects of this audio that do relate to the ongoing friendship/conflict between 6 and Charley is also fairly well explained, making Patient Zero much more manageable as a standalone story compared to some of the other Dalek stories in Big Finish's monthly range that are part of story arcs, which we covered in a previous video. Jumping into Patient Zero as a standalone story is sort of like jumping into Planet of the Daleks without having first seen Frontier in Space. It's clear you've dived into an ongoing story, but there are enough threads to grab onto that allow you to understand the basic plot, motivations of the characters, and direction of the story. Like Planet of the Daleks, Patient Zero takes a very different direction from the preceding stories, allowing new listeners to get accustomed to what's going on as the characters are introduced to a new location, newer characters, and new concepts. The final part of Patient Zero also features an epic battle between the Daleks and the Viyrans. Despite being a brand new addition to the Big Finish universe at the time, the Viyrans fit into Doctor Who lore as if they had always been there, and the Daleks certainly meet their match in this audio as the Viyrans prove that they are just as single-minded, committed and relentless as the Daleks are. While they are vulnerable to Dalek firepower, their regenerative capabilities make them a tenacious foe for the Time Controller and his underlings. If you're a fan of Charley Pollard, Patient Zero is arguably her strongest Dalek story, as it is the perfect combination of an excellent narrative that uses the Daleks in an interesting way, and a story that depicts Charley as a capable character even when separated from the Doctor. Patient Zero is also a great outing for Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor, who has had many exceptional Dalek audio stories like The Apocalypse Element, Jubilee, The Juggernaut and Order of the Daleks. But in Patient Zero we get the added treat of hearing the 6th Doctor battle the Dalek Time Controller, who in his later appearances would usually appear in 8th Doctor stories. Fans of the Time Controller can also appreciate Patient Zero as a great jumping on point for his story, as the events of this audio lead directly into the Time Controller's next appearance in the 8th Doctor Adventures range. What do you think of Patient Zero? Have you listened to this Dalek audio? If so, how do you think it compares to some of the other 6th Doctor Dalek stories? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.